All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 008052, State versus Samantha Venegas. Can I have parties announced?
Jimmy Callahan, defense.
And are you Ms. Venegas? You entered a plea to count 2 on March 26th. You entered a plea of no contest. According to your plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State opposes your application for community supervision and deferred education. You're taking in consideration 2024 CR 008054. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, state or defense?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, state? Defense, any witnesses?
The allocution in writing from the defendant.
All right. Any objections to the court reviewing the defendant's writing? All right. The court will hear argument. Well, before I hear argument, there are some things that defense maybe can address with the court. It says in the PSI that her guilt is minimized. And I did read where she's saying that the vehicle's not hers. She knew there was drugs in the trunk. She didn't throw them away. She didn't do anything about it. So I don't know if there's any insight you would like to give on that.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it's a good inference from the stipulations in the PSI that she was used as a pawn, taking advantage of her poverty and her addictions to methamphetamine. And she's ashamed of that in her life, not only you, but more particularly to her family. There is an element of voluntariness in her actions. There's also an element of being trapped in her actions. And that was one of the things I would ask the court to consider before you assess punishment. I have 3 other remarks.
All right, you may proceed.
And I suggest the court has a proper resolution in this case because she's still relatively young. Deferred adjudication, 10 years, ISF treatment, and she asks you to put her into drug court, which is intensive supervision for every day. That shows some indication of remorse and desire to be rehabilitated.
All right, so here's part of my issues, right? One, I have to look at criminal history. And I would have clients sometimes, you know what they would tell me? Why are people looking at my criminal history? We're just here for this. That was in the past. But I would always tell them that your criminal history is sort of like a credit report. And what you're trying to get is probation. So people are trying to say, has she been placed on probation before? Will she do well? So it shows that you've been on probation before.
That's a red flag. When a judge says someone is minimizing their guilt, it's basically courtroom language for I don't believe you fully owned up. And in sentencing, perceived honesty can mean the difference between mercy and maximum time.
And a motion to revoke was filed. You were revoked and sentenced to 5 years. You know, that was in 2007. And then in 2014, you were sent to prison for another case. And in 2015, there's a case that you were sent to prison for, and I believe these were running concurrently, because it appears that they were running concurrently. And then 2016, again, that's a case. It was running concurrently with the others. So what I'm viewing, it doesn't appear that you would be a good candidate for probation. You want to raise your right hand, though? Because the state may have some questions if you want to say something. All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hands, state your name for the record.
My name is Samantha Venegas. I know, okay, I did, 2010, I went to prison. I was reinstated on probation, but I grew up with my grandfather, and my grandfather wanted me to go do the time instead of being reinstated on my probation because he was scared that I was going to get messed up again and go do a large number of time that he was going to pass away.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was 29, 30. And so that's why I chose that. I chose that because my grandpa asked me to do that. He ended up passing away at my release. but that is why I was going to get reinstated. At the time my attorney was waiting me, and they were going to reinstate me, and so my grandfather asked me to get it over with. That is why I went to prison.
All right, so you were telling me that. I could understand maybe they're being.
Deferred adjudication. That's basically a second chance deal. If granted, Samantha wouldn't technically have a conviction if she completes probation successfully. But here's the kicker. With her record, that's a long shot. What do you think? Should someone with multiple priors still get another chance at rehab instead of prison?
Pressure on you with saying, oh, let me listen to my grandfather and take this time. And at the time, you were 29, 30. Okay.
Yeah,
And then the other cases, because you got out of prison, and then you pick up more cases.
in 2014, I revoked. I have my parole, and I went back to ISF. Of my parole, and then I was done with that. And then in 2016, I went to prison again in 2016, and then I revoked and went back to safety. And I came out and I completed that information.
Okay. Why do you keep failing at probation?
I went with parole.
Well, I mean, you failed at probation and you failed at parole. Why?
First time when I was younger, I really don't have, I made some choices in my life back then, and I was young, I was ignorant.
For the case that you said the first case, you said, I just agreed to be revoked because of my grandfather.
Yeah.
All right, you're telling me then you were 29.
Yes, I didn't go before.
All
I
right.
didn't go before, and I had a drinking problem back then. And back then, I would use cocaine a little, and I had a drinking problem. I was young, I was stupid, I was living in the bars, basically. And I wasn't, out there running the streets or anything like that. I just didn't want to go to work. And that was my biggest downfall right there. If I would have went and reported and went and taken a UA, everything would have been okay. My life would be a little bit, different. The other time, when I got out, I violated parole because I came out as 30 UA.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I understand your past. Do you know the amount of drugs this was, the weight of it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
It's a lot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can continue.
My life, for a while, I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm not proud of them. I'm very proud of them. If I could take them all back, I would. Now that I'm older, now that I see things differently, and trust me, this is over my
Oof. That's the sound of hope deflating. Once a judge starts listing off your criminal history like a resume, you know probation's slipping off the table. The tone just shifted from "let's consider" to "this isn't looking good."
But doing a lot, I was just trying to this last offense was something. It was just I was trying to get by, pay my bills. I was stuck in it. I was trying to get out of it, and I see now that what it cost me, what it could cost me, and I apologize for that.
No, but here's the thing. You had a previous drug case.
So,
So I don't understand why you continue to try to build your happiness off somebody else's misery. And when you sell drugs, that's basically what you're doing. You're taking a shortcut and you're building your happiness off somebody else's misery who has a drug addiction and can't stop. And there you are giving them drugs for money.
correct, you're right.
All right. State, do you have any questions? Okay.
Other things you see the drug for yours or the drug for somebody else?
It wasn't my vehicle.
All right. Could you speak up, please?
It wasn't my vehicle. And I was aware it was that. And I should have gotten arrested. When I know
you had a key in your pocket that matched the lock. Box that drug.
yes.
Nothing further. And one other point, Your Honor.
Yes.
He has family support. Was unable to get finalized letter indicating support. That's all, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Venegas, the amount of drugs in this case
Yes, ma'am.
is over 400 grams.
Yes, ma'am.
And from what I read in the police report,
Over
400
400
grams.
grams. That's not personal use.
And from what
in
I read in the
Texas,
police report,
that's serious felony
you were a
territory,
seller of drugs.
often considered
This whole
trafficking
thing
level weight.
about
The judge knows
the
this, and that single
drugs being
number,
in your boyfriend's
400,
car and you
basically
don't know,
seals her fate.
You knew the
You
drugs
can
from
feel
your
the
boyfriend's
gravity
car and you
in
should
that
have got rid of
pause.
them, but you're a seller of drugs. And this whole thing about the drugs being in your boyfriend's car and you don't know, you knew the drugs were in your boyfriend's car and you should have got rid of them, but you didn't. It doesn't ring true based upon what I read in the police report. Because according to the police report, you're known as a trafficker of drugs. That's what it says in the police report, and that's what was stipulated to. I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 15 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. The court will take in consideration 2024 CR 008054. I'll suggest that their community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. So this is a felony conviction. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Yes, the court, and she would like to run the therapy.
All right, I'll add the therapeutic community.
You may have one more thing, Your Honor.
Yes.
The court entertained delayed imposition of sentence 1 week. Let her go and take care of her affairs.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.